Hey there, welcome back for another ASMR video. Today we're going to be doing something different, and we're going to do an unboxing video of a gift that I received, which is the box of the Chanel Cologne, Chanel Bleu, and it's one of my favorite scents. And I thought we would also talk about some of the history of Chanel and Haute Couture, the Paris fashion scene of the early 19th century, while we open it. So, in 1858, Charles Frederick Worth established the first Haute Couture house in Paris, and it was a championing of luxury fashion for upper-class women, and coining the term fashion designer. And Haute Couture may be synonymous with French culture, but it was an Englishman who started the movement. When Charles Frederick Worth moved from Bourne, England to Paris in 1856, he began a dressmaking department at the fabric store Gaggelin. Might be mispronouncing that. He made pieces for clients instead of selling them the materials to make their own clothes. So he opened his first boutique in Paris and quickly gained a dedicated and adoring clientele, including Napoleon III. Napoleon III, who's married to Princess Eugenie, noticed one of his designs being worn by a client, which was a lilac silk gathered with lilies. So this kind of began the first haute couture scene. The phrase haute couture was first used in 1908, and in fact there is a French association that protects these designs and registers them as evidence for copyright. So this is actually a regulated industry in Paris. So there are only 14 designers who have the label of haute couture, and can be quite a struggle to know how to label your product. There are actually a very specific set of rules. Designers must have 15 staff, in addition to 20 technical staff, and they provide painstaking detail of couture pieces. So let's look at this. So haute couture in general can be referenced back to the 17th century by Rose Burton, who was the French fashion designer to Queen Marie Antoinette. And that was the beginning of the culture, the fashion culture, really becoming prevalent in Paris. Visitors to Paris brought back clothing, and that was copied by local dressmakers, and stylish women ordered dresses in the latest Parisian fashion. As railroads and steamships became easier, it was increasingly common for wealthy women to travel to Paris to stop for clothing and accessories. So as time went on, there was another group of designers, Dior and Balenciaga, and Saint Laurent, and also Chanel. So for a lot of these fashion houses, custom clothing is no longer the source of income, because it does cost a lot of money. So these commercializations and different types of products make it a lot easier. So that kind of leads us to Chanel. The number 5 Chanel was a really revolutionized accessibility to this kind of product, and also the use of jersey fabric that were comfortable and affordable. So that kind of brought high fashion and everyday fashion together. And it really focused on replacing structured silhouettes based upon the corset and the bonnets with garments that were functional and also flattering to the woman's figure. In the 1920s, the simple designs of Chanel couture made popular the flat-chested fashions that were the opposite of the hourglass figure achieved by the fashions of the late 19th century in France and Britain in the Edwardian era. And we're going to open it up and do some sprays so we can hear that as well. And there's definitely sort of a woody, vanilla, light scent there. It's hard to pin it down, but it's definitely very, it's a gentle scent, actually. So, the House of Chanel originated in 1909 when Gabrielle Chanel opened a shop at 160 Boulevard Malesherbes. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but it was the ground floor of the Parisian flat of a socialite and textile businessman Etienne Besson, of whom she was the mistress. So it had a salon for French hunting and sporting. Elite. So Chanel had the opportunity to meet the other mistresses who were women of fashion and displayed their ornate clothes, jewelry, and hats. Chanel could sell to them the hats she designed and made and earned a living as an independent financial sponsor. So that is when Chanel became another mistress to Moët Cabell, and they created the business Coco Chanel. Actually, it was at 21 Rue Cambon in Paris, which was the first Chanel shop. So they at first ordered limited millinery products, and then clothes for women and black practical designs. Sort of sporty stuff. So, the First World War affected fashion in Europe with the scarcity of materials, and Chanel at that time had a large dress shop, the Ritz Hotel in Paris. And they had fennel blazers, straight line skirts, etc. They focused on a celebrity marketing tactic, which I think associated the luxury brand with their products. And in 1921, that's when she created the perfume number 5. At first, it was a bottle that was a gift to clients of Chanel. And the popularity of the perfume prompted the House of Chanel to offer it for retail in 1922. The success of number 5 encouraged Coco Chanel to expand her perfume sales beyond France and Europe and develop other perfumes, for which she required capital. And that's when she really expanded the Chanel company. Let's give this a few more sprays, and we can use it for later. And as you can see, Haute Couture continues to be an economic powerhouse in the fashion industry for the city of Paris and around the world. That's pretty much it. So, thank you so much for sticking around, and I hope that you have yourself a lovely evening as well.